From the News Channel 5 Network and Out and About newspaper, this is Out and About Today.
Good evening and welcome to Out and About Today. I'm Pam Wheeler. If you have spring fashion fever, this show is for you, as Brent will host a two-part fashion segment with Milton White of the Fashion Office. But we'll open tonight's show with our weekly Buzz About segment. I'm joined by co-host Brent Meredith, and we con Milton to starting the show with us, and we're so glad you're here.
I am too, thank you.
So before we get to the fashion show, give us your credentials in the fashion world.
Let's see, I am a fashion editor, I am a celebrity stylist, I'm a fashion show producer. I have probably been in this business longer than most of our viewers have been alive. I was a prodigy doing this at 2 years old. I've been working since 1984.
Okay. So I think then
you're qualified.
Yeah. So we'll continue on now with the planned fashion show. So Brent and I would just like to pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
As a middle-aged lesbian casual dresser that never thinks, I never think about buying clothes. So what would you say a couple pieces that everybody should have in their closet that are going to take the test of time?
I think that most people, regardless of gender, need a really great white shirt, because you can do a million things with a white shirt, whether it's casual, whether it's dressy, whether it's professional, going to a meeting under a suit, and I would even say that for most people, you know, having more than one white shirt, crisp white shirt, is probably a good idea.
Yeah, because you spill things. Do you have a white shirt, Brent?
I do. I have a few, and over the years they've all kind of changed cuts a little bit, but I try to keep one or two that's, you know, kind of fits right, and I'm kind of short and have a small neck, so I've got to be careful about what fits. But you're right, once you get them, you kind of hang on to them, especially if they fit.
And the other thing with the shirt too is I think a chambray shirt is also a good idea, because it's a great neutral, and especially if you want to do, or if you have a lifestyle that it's more casual, it's color or shirt that works almost under any jacket or coat.
And if you were going to give some recommendations to me, Brent, and our viewers, what would you go expensive on?
Oh, that's a good one. I never know where to spend the money.
Right.
You know, like,
if you're limited.
I think you should put your money into the things that you're hardest on, because you know, for me, I'm very hard on shoes typically, so I tend to now, I used to not, I tend to now buy more expensive shoes, and I'm more conscious of taking care of them. And I think that you need to put money into the pieces that you find most important. I love a jacket and feel like I'm finished when I'm wearing a jacket, so mine is jackets first and then shoes. And then I think that for a lot of people, it's maybe a really great bag that you're going to use forever and keep forever.
Well, and I agree with that. I like the bag add-on, because I've had sort of a bag, a man bag, whatever you call it these days, merce, and it's I put some money into it for the first time a few years ago, and I've carried it for a few years, and yeah, you want to take care of it. And then the jacket thing is a big one for me too. So you got, going back to Pam's earlier question, finding one that you can kind of keep for a little while that doesn't look too trendy is a big one for me.
Yeah.
And we're in spring. Summer's just going to be here before you know it. I know we're going to see at least one model in some shorts coming up. I'm curious what's in terms of length, because those shorts, please tell me they're out.
I am going to disappoint you.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you that they're not out, that shorts have gotten shorter. I mean, shorts are truly shorts. You know, that whole, I mean, I know that the boys love to basically wear the longest short they can into the pool or into the beach or whatever.
The gay guys love that too? The gay guys love the long shorts in the pool?
Some,
but
not
as much.
Not as much. But it's also, you're coming to it from a completely different mindset. But shorts in general have just gotten, like I said, they've gotten shorter. And they're colorful. I mean, they're like, a lot of them are even like tennis shorts. I mean, they're that short.
Which is nice, because I mean, it seems like it went from shorts to, like you said, like mid-calf culottes, you know, like, you know, and it just
like,
are cargo shorts in still?
Oh, please.
Cargo?
I have not seen any cargo shorts that I can recall on the runway. That doesn't mean that they aren't out and available, but they're not on trend.
Okay. I got some friends I need to talk to. No, so Brent, do you have any other questions?
Well, the only thing we were talking about earlier, and I'm curious if you want to share with everyone, is like, you know, I have certain stores that I go to or certain websites that I buy from, but if, you know, you're in a hurry and you need a decent outfit and you're not a big shopper, you know, or that's not your thing, where might one go that's easy to get to, you can buy off the rack, and, you know, you tell someone, hey, just go pick out an outfit there and you can't go wrong?
Well, you know, I always, of course, want to gravitate towards the highest end store. Go to Jamie and get, you know, Oscar de la Renta. Go to Levy's and get Armani. And that can work for some people. I think that UAL is a great option.
I've been there, yet.
I think that the private label, which is a high-end consignment store, is a great option. I think that, we talked about TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and those kind of discount stores. You got to really
hunt there, though, right?
So running into a store like that is not ideal if you don't have the time to look. But there are several other stores. Posh is a great store. K. McCarthy is a great store. And these are stores that have quality items that are not super, super expensive.
How do you like to shop in, say, a mall atmosphere? I happen to live, if I could spit across the river, I could be at Opry Mills, in 5 seconds. So I'm there a lot for that reason. But are there any there that you would put your trust in, maybe off Fifth?
Oh,
or
sure.
You can look for deals?
Absolutely off Fifth.
Okay.
Some people like malls, some people don't, so you have to kind of figure out what your preference is in terms of shopping.
Yeah.
But I think that when you go to a mall, you just have tons and tons of choices and options, and I think that's important too.
Yeah, that is important. It's important for people to have choice, but I'm the type of person that less choice is often better.
Right.
So I end up looking for items that are kind of quarantined for me. I go to the sale rack first, and then I look and see, should I change my plan of attack?
I think it depends on what you want. I think that if you're looking for something specific, it's almost best to go to a store that you think is going to have what you're looking for and find a salesperson right away and say to them, this is what I'm looking for, and get them to do a lot of the legwork for you.
I have one last question, but I'll let you go.
No, you go.
Well, I'm curious because my partner, Matthew, has a membership to 5-4 Club, and there's a lot of these online places now where you can put your preferences and
style in a box.
What do you feel about that? Because I mean, he keeps everything. You don't send anything back, but you really tailor it on the front end, and everything that's come for the most part he's liked.
I think that, again, it's like going to the mall or going to a specialty store. I think some of those things work for some people.
Okay.
For somebody who is probably, I don't know if I would call myself highly stylized, but some of those things will probably work for me. I'd like to actually feel it and touch it and try it on, and I'm much more tactile.
Me too.
For people that don't have the time and are not tactile and are not overly concerned and not overly attached, I think have an easier time acclimating to something like that as opposed to curating something that's really, as much as they say that they're curated for you and the next 15 people
for your
like
profile,
you.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas I want to curate something that is specifically geared towards me, and I work with private clients in the same way.
Yeah.
And none of my private clients look alike for that reason.
Well, and I think you're right, because I mean, things fit him. He's taller, got a longer torso. I could put my measurements in, and things could come, and I look like I'm being cut in half.
Right.
So, guys, we didn't get to any of my hot topics, but that's okay because we have time for the fashion show. So we're going to continue this in just a minute. So don't go away. Our spring fashion preview is next. Milton White with the Fashion Office and his runway models will be right here. Stay with us.